Welcome everyone to the AOR Hype Energy PS4 F3 League. My name is Austin Smith and my usual colleague Kieran McGinley cannot be here tonight, unfortunately. So I'm gonna have to take you through this race, the Belgian Grand Prix. We know it as the R13 slide. It is one of the favorite tracks of almost every driver. It makes for some exciting racing, and it is also the longest track of the calendar. So it comes to no surprise that we will only have 22 laps of racing here tonight. Welcome everybody. The conditions, as you can see, are, well, interesting to say the least. We have very overcast conditions, but no rain here yet. That might be changing, but for now, no rain yet. And it seems like Solid Ninja Snake might be the first one out, or Sergi. Gonna have to see. No, it is Solid Ninja Snake who is the first one out on the track in his McLaren. And before the drivers get onto their first flying laps, we have 18 minutes of qualifying, as you see from the timer in the top left. Let's get into the track details right now. So Spa-Francorchamps, the circuit de Spa-Francorchamps here in Belgium, which isn't actually located in Spa but in Francorchamps, but it's kind of in between, so they gave it both names of both the cities, both the villages rather. Spa is known as the Ardennes Pearl, which makes it even more interesting that the track is called the Ardennes Slide. Very interesting contrast there. 7 kilometers, just over 7 kilometers long. 7 kilometers and a whole nother 4 meters. In the real F1, 44 laps. Obviously, we are running with 50% race distance here, so 22 laps to be expected, and the record winner is Michael Schumacher and Ferrari. Schumacher 6 wins here, and Ferrari as a constructor won 17 races on this track. Now Solid Ninja Snake taking us through that first corner, La Source. We've seen quite a few collisions there in recent years and decades. Now down to Raidillon, down to Eau Rouge, up to Raidillon. That's the right way around. That's Raidillon, actually, for those that still remember this meme from 2018. Down the Camel Straight into Les Combes, turns 7, 8, and 9. Right, then left, and back right again as we are heading towards Bruxelles. Turn number 10. And number 11, No Name Corner, sometimes known as Speaker's Corner, also known as the Jackie X Corner. It has a couple of names, but No Name Corner is generally what most racing fans agree on. Now up to Pouhon. Very interesting corner here. Very, very hard to get right, but you do get quite a lot of lenience on the outside here. So you can make slight mistakes, but it will definitely cost you time. Now through the campus section here, down to Stavelot, turns 15 and 16. This is where the final sector begins. Now through the Cours Paul Frere. And we're heading to another famed corner on this track, Blanchiment, right here. Not as scary as it used to be. Here it is, this left-hander. Not as scary as it used to be. It goes flat and up to the bus stop chicane, which isn't actually the bus stop chicane anymore. It's just called chicane now. But it has a place in the heart of all Formula 1 fans as the bus stop chicane. And Solid Ninja Snake finishes his lap in a 1:43 in 1 minute 43.1. Looks pretty good, but yeah, never mind. There is Sergi with a 1:41.7, and that is not going to be the end of it. I can promise you that. Sergi second in the standings right now with 180 points, just a single point behind FAP Demon, who's still in the pits. Only one of two drivers still in the pits. The other is his teammate Dan the Snake, as Army Drez has already retired from the session. And the question is, was that a genuine mistake, or was that tactics? I don't think this track is one where you want to be towards the end of the field. There are some others where you probably would decide, well, either I'm at the very front or I'm at the very back. My chances of being at the very front are very slim, so I'd rather take the back and last position and see the carnage unfold. But Spa is not one of those tracks normally, as much of a parking lot La Source is most of the times. But I think being mid-pack might still be a good shout. But so I reckon he must have made some kind of mistake, as Sergi takes it very slow here. Let's jump on with Apex in the Force India. For him, his last race at Hungary didn't go all too well. 13th place in the end for him. He was not happy with that. And he hopes to redeem himself a little bit and get a little better result. Interestingly enough, look at the time gap. But as Apex does come into the pits and we go to FAP Alex in the Sauber, look at the time gap between Sergi and Pip Matt. We are talking 7 thousandths of a second. I can show this right here. There you go. 7 thousandths of a second. That is nothing. That is less than the blink of an eye. As FAP Alex comes across the line and he moves into 7th place for now. But this is just the first run. There is going to be more to come. And as overcast as it looks, we see this from the TV pod right here. Look at how overcast it is. But it doesn't look like it's going to rain anytime soon. There's still some bright spots in the air, some light blue spots, a lot of white and gray, but some blue spots as well. So it doesn't look like it's going to rain anytime soon. So all the drivers will have, at the very least, one more run, probably 2 or 3, as Demon now goes on to his first flying lap. We go back onto the broadcast here, broadcast camera, and Demon into La Source, keeping it clean and tidy. A lot of cars coming out of the pits. This is not what you want to see, and his teammate as well. Oh my! He needs to make it through one, and he does. The other might give him a tow down the Camel Straight. They might actually help him. Look at that. He gets the tow from Dan the Snake. Moves past him now. Dan the Snake goes out of the way. That was teamwork par excellence. Or par excellence. Sorry, I'm a bit French today because we're in Belgium here. We're in the French-speaking part of Belgium. But that was fantastic teamwork. Does it pay off? I mean, down the Camel Straight, that's the longest straight of the track, so it should have helped him a bit, at the very least. And another car that has to move out of the way. The Sauber now down through Puhan. Demon looking good so far. Down through the campus section to Stavolo. There's yellow in Sector 2, but he is just out of Sector 2 right now. This is Sector 3 now. And up to Blanchiment again, flat out corner with these cars and in this configuration. It wasn't always a flat out corner, but it is now. And now all cars, by the way, are on track. Not a single car left in the pit lane as Demon closes out his lap and moves himself into first position at the moment. Fastest lap from FAP Demon, 141.6. And I'm pretty sure he is very happy about that. The leader of the championship. But can he hold on to that provisional pole in front of Sergi? Again, the difference, and now you see the toe being given the other way around, and Dan the Snake now in the back of FAP Demon. The teammates working together to perfection here. Still with a little bit of slipstream. Demon tries his best to give him some more and takes a different line through the corners as well. We saw that in Brussels there. He took a wider line to not have Dan be affected by the dirty air so much. So that was another interesting little nugget there to see in terms of lap strategy. And now they're coming towards the last stretch, the last long stretch of the track here. This is all full speed from here on out through this corner and then through Blanchimont up to the chicane. This is all flat out. This is the second longest full speed flat out part of the track. And what's he doing? He goes wide here to let Dan through. That was well done from Demon. And let's see where Dan is able to put the other Toro Rosso as Demon did his service, goes into the pits. This is, again, teamwork to perfection, and Dan invalidated his lap time. That is very, very unfortunate. What would it have been for Dan the Snake? A 146.4. That would have been... Oh, no. That would have been 46.4. That would have been bad. So he eased off the throttle there, and now this is his run. But he's in low ERS deployment, so I don't know what he's doing really. Maybe this is another... I don't even know. I don't even know. Meanwhile, let's head over to Sergi right here, as there's a lot of movement on the timetable right now. Elite Game Boy in 4th, Alex Musica in 5th, the OG 6th, Chronexa 7, Igo Champ in 8th. Igo Champ just puts himself up into 5th. Sergi coming through the bus stop and onto the line. It is a slight improvement by 0.06 of a second, but still second place, so he didn't move up a single position. Let's see what Elite Game Boy can do. He eased off. You can see that he eased off. Igo Champ, is he gonna go for another run? I mean, the fuel light is blinking, but he's still on medium. No, he's still on high ERS mode. 3 is high, so he's still using quite a bit. I don't know what he's doing exactly. He could come in, he could not. Let's stay with him for now. Second sector time is going to come at the end, at the exit of Stavilo. And Dan the Snake back in the pits. Giggs da Costa still with no time, as well as Apex and Jamie James. All of them without a lap time. Yeah, okay. Ago Champ, 5.5 seconds down on his lap. Chronex is coming into the pits. The Roadhouse. Didn't talk about him at all today, yet. But here he is. After his first finish outside of the points at Hungary, he finished every race he started this season in the points, except Hungary, where he was P11. He also comes in now. So he's definitely looking for another points finish, that is for sure. And we got Apex and Jamie James back out on track again, as well as... Oh no, Dan is looking to qualify on the softs, it seems. He's put the softs on. We see the fitted tire here for every driver. So not the one they qualified on so far, but the one that they have fitted to the car right now. And everyone's on the super softs, the softest compound of the 3, except Dan the Snake. Very interesting, but Apex now through Radeon, coming up the hill, Camel Straight. ERS on overtake gives you the most power. more than hot lap. Now goes down, which is smart. You want to keep some ERS deployment for the rest of the lap. You want to keep some for the rest of the lap for a simple reason. You only have so much deployment every lap. The deployment per lap is limited, and there seems to be a little bit of a bug right now with the deployment bar. It doesn't deplete as... it's not as empty as it should be by this point in the track, especially with him having overtake engaged on the Camel Straight. So there's a little bit of a bug, but yeah, the deployment is limited per lap, and so you can't run in overtake the whole time. The deployment is going to run out at about here probably if you all run it in overtake. So you need to manage your ERS deployment as much as possible to get the most out of the car. Now he goes in hot lap, so he still has some to spare apparently. And hot lap does give you better traction out of the corners, whereas overtake is better for the acceleration, let's say 5th gear and up, as Apex does put himself on provisional pole right now. But again, almost every car now on the track, except for Ami Drez, who crashed. Giggs DaCosta, Mike Tynes, and Alex Musica, the only 3 cars left in the pits, and it doesn't seem like they're gonna leave. Oh no, Alex is, and never mind. And Mike Tynes as well, and Giggs might be a little bit too late actually. Minute 41 is the lap time here. He might be coming across the line too late for his final run. Then again, we might have timed it to perfection, but he's gonna need a very, very competitive outlap already, and then a very good, very competitive hot lap as well. Apex taking it slow. Demon just started his lap. Can he fight back for pole? We have a yellow flag in sector 2 and 3. What happened there? I think there was someone just a little bit slow. What a slide from the OG. As he comes across the line, puts himself in 6th position in front of Elite Game Boy. Jamie James himself put himself into 5th. Also, very good result. And he goes into the pits. So that is the qualifying done for him. Elite Game Boy started his lap time. Igo Champ is going to finish his already. No, he's going to start another one. Okay, so that was his installment lap. Now he's going to start one. On laps, on fresh tires. Okay, that was a little bit confusing there. Everyone out on track except Jamie James, even Giggs DaCosta. But is he going to make it to the line in time? 20 seconds. Oh, he might not have timed it to perfection. The clock is running down. 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And he did make it across the line. So Giggs, again, he did time it to perfection. He is gonna start his lap right now, as Apex is already done. Jamie James is done. Demon coming through the final turn. What's his lap time gonna say? It is better by just a bit. 141.502, 16 thousandths of a second faster than Apex. Very, very good lap. Just edges him out. Sergey, the other championship contender, 1 point behind Demon. Can he get in front here on the grid? Sergey to the line. It is 3rd place, but he still improves once again. Elite Game Boy up in 5th now. Pip Matt, he's in Puhon. Let's see, Igo Champ might be closer. Igo Champ is closer to the finish line. Igo Champ now up to the bus stop. He will be the next one to finish his lap. The OG has retired. Cronexus has retired. And a couple of other cars also finished. Igo Champ up into 4th. Now let's go back to Pip Matt. He is now down to Stavilo. Maybe Alex Musica. Yes, Alex Musica will be the next to come across the line. Followed by Pip Matt and then Giggs. I don't think Mike Tynes will be able to improve. He might actually be able to improve. But I don't think he is... Oh, he does improve, in fact, to 12th. Alex Musica, 7th. Giggs has finished his lap time as well, 10th. So Pipmat must be really slow right now. And yeah, he does come into the pits. So that is the qualifying over. And Demon edges out Apex and Sergi for the top 3. Dan the Snake, very disappointing, down in 15th. He's 3rd in the standings. Only 24 points behind his teammate Demon. And Pipmat also still with some championship hopes. 58 points down on Demon. 57 down on Sergi. And 34 on Dan the Snake. But FAP Demon in the Toro Rosso gets the pole position for this race. His 4th of the season, more than any other. The only other driver with multiple is Alex Musica with 2. Everyone else has 1 or 0. So, Demon with 3 pole positions. Now his 4th. And he's looking to make it another win. And the skies seem to have cleared up quite a bit. We are looking at bright blue skies for this race. And you know the Belgian weather. It could go rainy, it could go storm any second. But it looks very, very sunny right now. I think we might have another dry race. We had Spain where it was raining, but other than that, every race has been dry and even sunny, and it seems like this one is no different, as a lot of drivers are still loading into the race. Very many drivers still loading into the race. Choosing their strategies. The strategies, so we have 3 different tire compounds here. The super soft, the soft, and the medium. The super soft is the tire that most drivers qualified on, and the top 10 will have to start on. Everyone else, let's see what the tire says. Oh, wow. Yep. Almost as expected. So the top 10 all on the super softs, on their used super softs, in fact. Cronexus and P11 on the softs, on fresh new softs. And everyone else from 12th down to 17th. Roadhouse, Mike Tyners, Alex, Dan the Snake, Solid Ninja Snake, and Drez, all on the medium. So we have 3 potential strategies here, and I've seen all 3 of them work. Super soft to medium, which is what the top 10 runners will most likely go to. Soft to medium, or medium to soft, and super soft to soft, all 1-stops. We will not see more than 1 pit stop here. Super soft to soft is possible if your tire wear is very, very good. In the OCE race, in the AOR Hype Energy OCE F1 series, earlier today, Tiamat Marduk, Ben Daly, has run the super soft to soft strategy as I think the only driver, one of 2 drivers in that race, and he finished in 3rd. So it is possible to run a very good race if your tire wear is accordingly good. If you can make it work, it is a viable strategy, but you're gonna have to watch out for these tires quite a bit. Super soft to medium is the safer strategy, and if you really struggle with tire wear, and look at the air temperature, higher air temperature, it is sunny, means higher track temperature, which in return means the tires are more likely to overheat and are wearing out faster. So I don't think we'll see so much of a super soft to soft strategy. We'll see super soft to medium, medium to super soft from the back runners, or maybe even super soft Maybe even medium to soft, sorry. Maybe even medium to soft. But Demon makes his way to the grid, as does everyone else. And we are getting ready. Let's look where Army Drez finds himself here in P17. All the drivers now on the grid. And we are just waiting. We are seconds away. 4, 5 red lights, and the lights are off, and away we go for the Belgian Grand Prix here at the AOR Hype Energy PS4 F3 League, and it was a good start from Demon. Apex IGO champ, look at him go, already up into 4th. Oh no, he started in 4th, sorry, he started in 4th, but almost made it into 3rd, but now Sergi trying to put some pressure on Apex. The two Force Indias here looking very strong and racy at the start. Good starts also from Solid Ninja Snake and Army Drez. Is there anyone left behind? And the Snake, not so good of a start. And Apex round the outside of Demon tries the move, but it is not on the cards just yet. As Demon stays in front now, Sergi tries it into Bruxelles. No cigar. Close, but no cigar. A lot of fighting here in the first lap. A lot of fighting going underway. And we see some fighting here. The OG and Giggs. No, not Giggs. Hold on. The OG and Alex Musica come together with a little collision. And the OG pushes himself through. The top 6 have actually stayed the same. That is incredible. I did not believe that would happen, but it did happen. And we are on board here, almost on board with Apex for a second. He is running in 2nd place. Demon still in the lead. Sergi in 3rd. He needs to make some inroads as Chrome Nexus has retired. What happened here? Oh my! Look at those scenes! And a 5-second stop and go penalty for Giggs after a severe collision with the Roadhouse. What happened there? Oh, there's an end plate missing. Is both end plates missing? And there's something more. There's Elite Game Boy got spun around, or was, I don't know what happened there, but his front wing's still intact. Roadhouse in the pits. Jamie James in the pits. Oh my, Cronex is out of the race early on. 1 lap. Not even 1 lap. And Cronex is already out, and 2 drivers, Roadhouse and Jamie James, into the pits with front wing change. And we are under virtual safety car. We are under virtual safety car. This is why you see all drivers rather slow right now. So that's very good for Roadhouse and Jamie James, as they do not lose as much time as they normally would have. Oh my, let's take a moment to look. So the top gainers of the start are Solid Ninja Snake and Army Drez. They both gained 8 positions from 16 and 17 without. They just didn't get involved in any kind of trouble, and they came up to 8th and 9th as the virtual safety car is over again, and we are under green flag in lap 2, and Demon still leading the way under pressure. We see the top 4 kind of breaking away right now. Demon, Apex, Sergi, and IGO champ. Pit map already with a little bit of a gap there of just over a second to IGO champ, and he himself has the OG, Alex Musica, Solid Ninja Snake. Solid Ninja Snake's quite a bit away, but the OG and Alex Musica right behind him. But let's look at this top 4 here. Sergi is very close to Apex. Is he gonna try a move into the bus stop? No. No, not yet. But you see, he's trying to go for a better exit, but he gets a worse exit, in fact. DRS is now finally enabled, so that's gonna make some overtaking happen on the Camel Straight, and, well, probably not on the start-finish straight, as it is rather slow for, rather short for DRS. But let's look at, oh, Demon with a big moment, and he goes into the wall. The championship leader is into the wall, and he has to slow down. What is happening? Oh my, yellow flags here as Solid Ninja Snake comes and overtakes Demon almost. No, he does not. Let's look at Demon's car. Can we see some front wing damage there? The left end plate is still on. What about the right end plate? It is in fact missing. You don't see any red there, so the right end plate is missing. He does have front wing damage. The race leader, with an unforced error in Radeon, goes into the wall. He's gonna have to pit very, very soon. Ami Drez now putting him under pressure. Oh, that is heartbreaking, and that is what you want to see if you are Sergi or a fan of Sergi. He is in second place now. He is the main championship rival of Demon. Only 1 point behind him, and if the things stay as they are, my goodness, I can't even speak. If the things stay as they are, Sergi's going to get 18 points. Demon is going to lose a whole lot of time. Might actually have to go for a 2-stop here. And Sergi is going to win quite a few points, and he's going to gain back the championship lead. But there is still 18 laps to go. 19, in fact. Sorry, 19 laps to go. As we just started lap 4. So we still have to drive the whole of lap 4 and then 18 more. Drama already, and Demon is in the pits, as is Elite Game Boy. And they are going to lose a whole lot of time. What is the tire situation? What are they going to go on to? Demon and Elite Game Boy. Both on the mediums. My guess is that Demon is going to try to make those mediums work for 19 laps now. Is he going to be able to do so? I don't know. That is the big question. It's going to be a challenge, and it definitely hurts him in this race. I think he's out of the running for the win here, as Apex has already gained a gap on Igochamp, who's overtaken Sergi. The Force India's running 1-2 as Giggs has retired from the session, most likely in the pit lane. Let's see where Jemmy James overtakes him. Yes, retirement in the pit lane from Giggs. Very, very unfortunate for him. But the Force Indias, the Pink Panthers, showing their dominance once again here at the Belgian Grand Prix. It's always been a very, very good track for the Force India team. Remember, Giancarlo Fisichella, when he drove for them, I think he even got a win here. He definitely got a very good result. But I think he even gave the team its first win here at the Belgian Grand Prix. So Force India generally very, very strong. Oh no, they didn't get a win. I'm sorry, they never got a win. I'm sorry, but they got I think their best result to date. Force India did not win a single Grand Prix, but Fisichella, Sutil got a 4th place here once, I remember. Spa, for some reason, for these Force Indias, ever since they came onto the scene at Formula 1, Spa has always been a very, very good racetrack for them. As Igochamp and Apex still with the 1-2, and Sergi seems to lose some more time, almost out of the 1 second window. Let's switch it to the interval. He is out of that 1 second window. He will not get DRS if he stays where he is in terms of the gap, and he will be under pressure from Pip Matt and the OG and Alex Musica, who are right behind him. Look at this train right behind him. I mean, it's still a little bit away. It's 6.5 tenths, 6.5 tenths, and 5 tenths, 4 tenths now, but they are all closing up, and he will not have DRS, and they will. So Sergi is going to be under supreme pressure, and Igochamp is working himself back into the 1 second window of Apex. They will give each other DRS and slipstream and all the good stuff and just drive away with it. After we see the teamwork of Toro Rosso, in the qualifying, now we see the teamwork of Force India, and Sergi goes into the pits. Can we catch him? There we go. Sergi, Pitmat, and the OG all in the pits at the same time. Oh, that's almost an unsafe release right there, but Sergi just in front of Pitmat, and then the OG. They're all down now to 9th, 10th, and 11th. Dan the Snake, an overtake on Alex. Alex is into the wall. FAP Alex 20 is into the wall, has lost quite a large chunk of his front wing, and he is gonna have to limp back to the pits. Roadhouse needs to watch out to not bang into him. It's gonna be hard to see here. But yeah, no, Alex is already into Lake Com, but yeah, he's gonna have to limp back to the pits, taking the exit road here, gets a 3-second penalty for another corner cut. My goodness. That is very, very unfortunate for Alex. We are down to 3 runners still on the Super Softs, by the way. At the front, Apex, Igo Champ, and Alex Musica. The triple A right there. Apex, Igo, Alex. All 3 on the Super Softs. And Igo Champ has lost a little bit again to Apex, so the gap is back up to 1.5 seconds now. And another 3 seconds for Alex Musica, so quite a considerable margin. One of them is going to have to come in now, and I think Apex does get the right of way, so Igo Champ has to stay out another lap. Alex Musica also coming in, so Igo Champ not really on the most desirable strategy, but he has to make it work now. He couldn't have been double stacked. There's no chance. And Miroslavi, yes, thank you very much. Fisichella finished 2nd here in 2009, giving Force India their best result. Oh no, I think he just, hold on, didn't he just, oh no, he left Force India, the race after the European Grand Prix, right? Ah, man. Yeah, but he did get 2nd, but that was the Force India energy that he still had with him. That's why I'm telling you. And Sutil got 4th here. And they've always had at least one car in the points every race here that they've participated in since then, since 2009. Which isn't always the case for Force India, that they get cars in the points. So, Force India, very, very strong on this track, and Igo Champ and Apex show it. We still have the 4 runners here that are still on the mediums. Mike Tynes, Solid Ninja Snake, Army Dres, and Dan the Snake, who all started at the very bottom of the grid, and they are all still out on their tires. Obviously, the mediums can go quite a long distance, but Apex, who's on 6 laps fresher tires, is going to have to navigate around them at some point. He's going to run into them, that's for sure. As Igo Champ is going to make his way into the pits most likely. Unless he goes for a super soft to soft strategy. Which he does not. But he does bang into the pit wall. Oh my. Let's hope he didn't lose any of his front wing. And so Mike Tynes is going to assume the lead. Yeah, there was no front wing damage apparently on Igo Champ, so that went well. Let's see, where does he come out? In front of Sergi. So again, we have a virtual Force India 1-2, but he is under pressure now from Sergi, who's gonna get DRS. Igo Champ will not have any. And let's go on board here with Sergi. Look at the slipstream. Look at the momentum. Igo Champ could just watch him fly by, and Sergi does take 2nd position. That is the 1 lap undercut for you right there. Sergi now on a bit older tires, but it's going to be hard for Igo Champ to re-overtake him. He lost so much time on that 7th lap on the Super Softs, and ran right back into the hands of Sergi after having more than a 1 second gap. Apex now struggling. Trying to get back 2nd, but he is in 3rd. Provisional 3rd for now. Again, we do have 4 runners at the very top. Mike Tyner's Army Dress, Solid Ninja Snake, and Dan the Snake, who all haven't made their pit stop yet. And look at Apex already closing in on the 4 of them. That is unbelievable. Apex is already closing in on them, and he's gonna try to overtake Dan the Snake and Solid Ninja Snake, the 2 snakes, very, very soon, as Dan makes an overtake on Solid Ninja Snake. Oh, they're gonna go 3 wide into turn 1. Please don't. No, no. Apex knows better than that, but let's watch this from his perspective. He goes down the inside of Solid Ninja Snake, and that is a position. Yes, it is. That is 1 position for Apex already. 3 more to go. Dan the Snake is next, and he does not have DRS. He's over a second away. Apex taking the outside line. Solid Ninja Snake a little bit too far away for another overtake. Very unfortunate for him, but Apex does make it through, so he's up to 3rd now. He's up to 3rd now, looking for 2 more cars to overtake, and again, he has much fresher tires now. Oh wow, it looked like Army Drez was a little bit on the dirt there. My goodness. That was a wild line in the no-name corner, turn 11. But he managed to keep it on track and not even lose too much time. But you can see Apex now with the laser focus that a racing driver develops once he sees the car in front of him. Apex now within 1 second of Army Drez. 7/10s. He's gaining very, very rapidly. And it's only a matter of time. I think Kemmel Straight is when he's going to overtake him. Oh, look at how he's gaining on the brakes. Incredible stuff from Apex. And Igo Champ sets the fastest lap of the race as he overtook Sergi again. Oh wow, we completely missed that. I'm very sorry, but the Force Indias are again on a virtual 1-2. But look at Igo Champ's tires. He is actually trying the super soft to soft. He is trying to pull the Tiamat Marduk from earlier today that got Ben a 3rd place finish in the OCE race. He's trying to do exactly that. Super soft to soft, and he will try to secure the Force India 1-2 as he makes his way through Solid Ninja Snake, or past Solid Ninja Snake. Apex still behind Army Drez. He did not manage to overtake him. And Dan the Snake can hang with Apex, apparently. This is all losing Apex time. And if Igo Champ can close in, oh, this is going to be interesting. We might see the 2 Force Indias battle for the win. What a sight that would be. Army Drez picking up a 3-second time penalty. It is not that easy around this track to pick up corner cutting penalties, but it is possible. Let's just say that. But most drivers should stay without corner cutting penalties. Now into Blanchimont down the inside. Are you kidding me? And he makes it stick. Goes a little wide, but he makes the move stick, and Apex up in a 2nd position. What a gutsy overtake. What a gutsy move that was from Apex. But he needed to make it work at some point. He needed to get that position to not be held up by Army Drez and by this whole train. Now Mike Tynes is the next and the final one for him to overtake. Tynes in the lead right now, but Apex in the virtual lead as Mike Tynes was not in the pits yet. And Sergi has also cleared Solid Ninja Snake, by the way. Pit Matt now with a 3-second time penalty. And Apex with the DRS, with some slipstream, moves past Mike Tynes very, very easily. And back into not just the virtual lead, but the lead on track. Let's see how long Igo Champ takes. Dan the Snake can be very, very hard to overtake, I can tell you. And I'm pretty sure some of these drivers can tell you as well. We've seen it this season before. Dan is a very, very fast racing driver, and he knows how to defend himself. He knows how to keep a car behind him. The question is, though, is Dan willing to battle with someone who's on a different strategy than him? This is not his race, really. This is not the race he's in. He's not in a race with IgoChamp. He's in a race with, I would say, probably with the OG, Pip Matt, maybe. Alex Musica, if he's lucky. He's not in a race with the virtual second place on the track. Or even third with Sergi. This is not who he's racing right now. So maybe it is smarter to just let IgoChamp go once the situation arises, once the question becomes an actual question. You can see this train, incredible stuff. As we are just past the halfway point of the race. 11 laps done, 11 laps to go. We are in lap 12 now. And second, third, fourth, and seventh still have to come into the pits. And I expect them to come, if they go onto the softs, I expect them to come in within the next 2 or 3 laps. If they go on the super softs, they will take 4 or 5 laps more. And there is the move done from IgoChamp. Not much defense by Dan, as I expected. This is not his race right now. He needs to just get his head down, lose as little time as possible. Little lock up there by IgoChamp. Almost runs into the back of Drez. He had to back out of this one. That was very, very close. But he keeps it on track, keeps his position, and only loses a little bit of time as Apex is moving away already from Mike Tynes. Over 2 seconds now, the gap, after just, what, a lap or 2 since he overtook him? That is incredible stuff, and that shows you how much pace not only Apex has, but how much pace difference there is between 5 laps and 11 laps old medium tires. As IgoChamp is trying, he's looking, he's trying to get a move done on Drez, trying to prepare him for this move, but he's too far away here. He gets closer in the braking zone, but not by much. I mean, as you would expect, that, you know, the physical distance is being reduced on the braking, since one car does brake earlier than the other. But again, no move on the cards here just yet. I think he might, at this point, need a mistake from Drez. Because Drez himself gets DRS and Slipstream from Mike Tynes. So we might see Drez do an overtake here, although IgoChamp, as I say that, preparing the move, goes to the outside, and it's not there. He does make, oh, and he completely misses his line for the second part of the Les Combes. Losing a whole lot of time here. And Alex Musica has overtaken Sergi. How did that happen? Solid Ninja Snake fell down the order to P9 now. He's gonna have to look to pit rather soon. I think either this lap or the next to get onto the softs. Very dramatic here for him, for Solid Ninja Snake. Loses a lot of positions. Pip Matt, meanwhile, with a very calm and quiet race. He's in provisional 5th. Very, very good for him right now. And Jamie James picking up a 3-second time penalty, but he is in 14th place anyway. His race is mostly ruined anyway. A 3-second time penalty doesn't change much there. As Drez tries to overtake Mike Tynes, but the move again isn't there. And they all stay out. They all stay out. With Salt Ninja Snake, he also stays out. He's losing lap after lap. He's losing time and time. But he still stays out. Very, very weird. I would have made the call if I was his race engineer. I would have said, you know what, come in. Try to take those softs 10 laps. You can do that. And here goes IgoChamp. Now he's got the run on Drez, and look at the speed. Just absolutely incredible. Now he only has one more car to battle with in front of him, and that is Mike Tynes. Meanwhile, Apex already edged away 4 seconds in just 2 or 3 laps since the overtake. That is incredible stuff. Apex, we won't show him much more tonight because there is so much battling going on right behind him for second, third, fourth right now. But just this shot right now, he deserves a little bit of attention for this very, very superb drive so far. He's gonna have 8.5 more laps to go, 8 1/3 as he just enters the final sector of the lap. But we gotta show him at least a little bit. But we do see a lot of Force India, a lot of pink today on the broadcast, and what these two are doing is just incredible. Force India, I would have never expected. I'm gonna give you some perspective, okay? Apex's best result was second in Austria. However, he is 13th in the driver's standings. And Igo Champ, his best result was third, 5 times. There was always 2 drivers, at least, that were in front of him every single race. He never got a second, he never got a first, never got a win this season. Today, he might get his best result so far this season. It might not be a win, that will most likely go to Apex. But it will probably be a second place. However, Alex Musica now trying the move. He gets it done on Dan. Alex now moving up into 5th place. And don't forget, Alex Musica already has a win this season. He won the French Grand Prix after Giggs got disqualified. So there already is a win there in the column for Alex Musica. He also had a, he also had a 3rd place at the first race of the season in Australia, but other than that, it was very, very meager for him. A 9th place in Spain, and then 11th, 12th, 14th, 2 disqualifications, 3 DNFs, and he did not start in Germany. Is that rain? Is this rain? Are you kidding me? Look at how quickly the conditions have changed. There is rain on the track, and this might completely change everything. Mike Tynes, Army Dress, Dan the Snake. They all look like geniuses now. Look at how much rain there is. They're all going to come in for a set of intermediates. Yes, Apex is the first one. Igo Champ makes it past Mike Tynes. He's also... The double stack is the better choice here. Because the track is so wet that on these soft tires, on these dry tires, everyone's going to come in now. Look at this. Everyone, this is incredible. FAP Alex already went in. Made kind of a smart move there. But he's already so far back that it's not going to help him much. And where's Igo Champ going to end up? Oh, he's stuck and he's coming out in 7th, 6th. Hold on, where does he come out? Okay, 3rd place. Only behind Dan to say, oh, he needs to get 2nd. I said before, Igo Champ, his best result so far is 3rd place. He never got a 2nd or even a 1st. And is it gonna be another 3rd place for him? That would be so heartbreaking. 5 3rd places already. Please tell me he's gonna get a 2nd. Apex is running away with this, 11 seconds away from the rest. That is incredible. And now look at this. Dan the Snake looks like an absolute genius from the mediums straight onto the inters. I had no idea, and I'm pretty sure... I'm pretty sure most other drivers didn't expect that either. That's why they all went onto the mediums at the start. Now I understand. Oh my. But then why did they go soft, super soft to medium and not super soft to soft? That would have given them much more speed. That's why the Force Indias look great now. Igo Champ, did exactly that. He went super soft to super soft to soft, and not super soft to medium as everyone else. And he had more speed. He's in third now. He's gonna have to find a way past Dan the Snake. I don't know if he does have the speed, as Alex Musica is out. What happened here? Oh wow, he is in a very dangerous place there. Oh wow. Out of Puhan, completely lost it apparently, and spun back onto the track. How that is not a safety car, I don't know. I have no idea how that is not a safety car. It should be. But for Alex Musica, this is unfortunately his end to the race. He will not get any points. It looked so good for him. It looked so good. Then the rain hits, then the crash, and it is all over for him. Very, very unfortunate. You gotta feel for the guy. It looked so good up until lap 14, then the rain comes and it all goes down the drain. Quite literally down the drain. Igo Champ trying to shape up a move. There is no DRS in these conditions. Don't forget, there is no DRS here. He has to make the overtake work without it. He still has the slipstream. He can still use the ERS to his advantage. But DRS, DRS, there is none. He does have 5.5 laps, so he can really prepare Dan the Snake for the overtake. He can really look where there is a position, where there is a place on the track where Dan looks maybe a little weaker than he does, and try to make it work there. But there are not that many overtaking possibilities here. I would say, unless obviously your opponent makes a mistake, you really only can overtake into the chicane, maybe into turn 1 if you're brave, into Les Combes. And that's about it, as Jamie James also retired from the session. So now we are dropping the drivers like flies. Oh, look at how good Igo Champ is on the brakes. Dan will be under supreme pressure for the last 5 laps. Look at the cars just tailing around. And there is a yellow flag in Sector 2. Oh, as FAP Alex off in Puhan. Puhan seems to be a very dangerous place right now, as not only did Alex Musica bin it there, but FAP Alex also lost it there, but he lost it in the first part, which doesn't seem to be as severe. But here goes Igo Champ into Les Combes. They're side by side. And Igo Champ makes the move stick, gets second place. It is back to a 1-2 for Force India, as the Roadhouse does pick up a 3-second time penalty. A great move from Igo Champ here with the slipstream, with some ERS. Makes the move stick down the Camel Straight and back into second place. Now all he needs to do is bring this home. Bring this home. The tires are the same for everyone. The conditions on track are the same for everyone. Now, it really comes down to the driver. It only comes down to the driver. How good can they deal with these wet conditions? As FAP Alex picks up a 3-second penalty. That is not that significant for the race, as he's down in 13th. 30 seconds behind 12th. Behind Elite Game Boy. Dan the Snake, meanwhile, might even have to defend from Pip Matt. And this is for 3rd place in the driver's standings. Yes, Pip Matt is 34 points behind Dan, but if he makes a move here and gets 3 points back on him, he's gonna close the gap at least a little bit, and they both will close the gap on Sergi, who's in 7th, and Demon, who's in 9th. We gotta talk about our 2 championship leaders. Sergi in 7th, Demon in 9th. They're both not gonna get a whole lot of points. For Dan and Pip Matt, they are making the Drivers' Championship interesting again here. If they can bring home these results, 3rd and 4th. They're making this interesting again. Let's see, Pip Matt. Less than 4/10 on the brakes, a little bit too late. Almost runs into the back of Dan the Snake. That looked probably closer than it actually was, but my goodness. A little later on the brakes for Pip Matt, and he runs straight into the back of Dan the Snake. And they might both spin. My goodness. Pip Matt has 3.5 laps left to shape up the move and get onto the podium. We have to check for the penalties, though. We have to check for the penalties. For Apex, it doesn't really matter too much. He does have 2 warnings, no penalty. Igo Champ, 2 warnings, no penalty. Dan the Snake, 2 warnings, no penalty. Pip Matt does have 1 penalty and a warning. Mike Tyne is in 5th. Very, very good result for him so far. He does have a penalty, but no additional warning, so he can afford another 2 without getting a second penalty. The OG, 2 warnings, no penalty. Sergi, 2 warnings, no penalty. A lot of drivers get their 2 warnings, but no penalty. But we might see the penalties fly in now in these conditions. It is much easier to extend a corner or extend the track or to cut a corner. It is much easier here because obviously you are less in control of your car than in dry conditions. These cars are not as planted when it is as wet as you see it right now. Pip Matt, this is the very slippery part here, and Dan takes it with a lot of caution, but not Pip Matt. They're both on overtake right now. Who's gonna brake earlier, later? Oh my. And Dan the Snake seems to edge out Pip Matt onto the curb and keeps the position. I don't know if that was 100% fair. The steward's gonna have to maybe make a decision on that. But that was very fierce defending at the very least from Dan the Snake. It is not over though. Still 2.5 laps to go for these two. The Force India's 1-2. That seems pretty much certain unless Ago Champ gets himself a penalty. Pip Matt would have to get past Dan the Snake and get a 3-second gap. So Dan the Snake could actually let Matt go. He could let him go, but he doesn't know that. Unless he listens to the broadcast right now. But generally, he doesn't know that. Because the drivers do not know about other drivers' penalties. They know about their own. Dan knows he doesn't have a penalty. But he doesn't know whether Pip Matt has one. And so he's driving as hard as he can. He's defending with everything he has to keep that podium position, not knowing that even if he lets Matt by, as long as he doesn't get a penalty, there's no issue. Two more laps to go. Penultimate lap of this Belgian Grand Prix. And what a wild Grand Prix it has been so far. We've seen a first round crash from Cronex's. We've seen some front wing changes. We've seen the rain hit in lap 15. And now we see a Force India 1-2, but more importantly, we see some major championship implications as Pip Matt now tries it round the outside again. How are they gonna end up? He makes it stick round the outside this time. Superb move by Pip Matt. Very, very well done. Puts himself into 3rd position, but again, he needs to get a 3-second gap. If Dan is able to stay behind Matt in a 3-second window, which is quite a lot, not 3/10, 3 seconds, he's gonna get 3rd place still. All Dan needs to do is stay penalty free, not get another corner cut. He has 2. He cannot afford a single one. Can he do that? It's really just about managing the car on track and managing the car in relation to Pip Matt. That's all he has to do. And he is staying within a 1 second window right now. Pip Matt is driving a little bit away, it seems. 8 tenths already, but that is not enough. He would have to gain 2 seconds on this final lap. Over 2 seconds, in fact, on this final lap. And that is a very tough ask. As Army Dres has retired from the session, no points for him, unfortunately. And we are on the final lap of the race. Apex driving towards his first victory this season. His best result was a 2nd place in Austria. Now he's getting one better if he only makes it another lap. If only he keeps another lap. By the way, Apex did not win a single race so far this season on track. He won the Austrian Grand Prix because of penalties to Demon. Demon got 8 seconds worth of penalties, which promoted Apex back into first place. This time, he wins it on track. He does get a 3-second penalty, but he's got a 7-second lead over Igo Champ. So for Force India, it is a very, very happy race indeed as he approaches the final sector. We're going to stay on him here. Dan the Snake, you can see the gap. He stays within 1 second. He needs to stay within 3. He stays within 1. So Dan the Snake getting down that 3rd place finish. Let's see if anyone picked up penalty. I don't think Dan picked up another penalty. No, he did not. He did not. Apex did, but it won't matter. Comes towards the bus stop chicane. Final corners, and Apex, the only German in this league, wins the Belgian Grand Prix on track and on penalties. Igo Champ, his teammate. It is a 1-2 for Force India, and now Pip Matt gets 3rd on track, but Dan the Snake will overtake him. Mike Tynus in 5th. Sergi is up into 6th. What are the penalties going to look like? Sergi 6, Solid Ninja Snake 7, the OG 8. The Roadhouse here. Demon, oh my, Demon with a wild line. So Sergi gets at least 8 points. That is, well, damage control, I think. Roadhouse in 9th. Demon in 10th. And Elite Game Boy will be in P11, and that rounds off the results here. So a 1-2 for Force India, 43 points. That is absolutely incredible. And Force India moved past Mercedes in the team championship standings. In the constructor standings. 43 points. This is this the first 1-2 we had of a team so far this season? I'm looking. And indeed, it is. It is the first... Oh, hold on. We might have one with... No, not with Drez. Okay. Yeah, it is the first 1-2 so far this season. That is incredible. So, the first 1-2 of the season does not go to Toro Rosso, even though Demon was the championship leader before this race and is still 2nd. It doesn't go to Haas with Sergi and Drez. No, it goes to Force India with Igo Champ and Apex. Obviously in reverse order, so Apex and Igo Champ. For the championship, Sergi takes back the lead. He gets 8 points. Demon only gets a single one. Sergi now the 6-point leader, but Dan the Snake and Pip Matt both close in on them. Sergi 188. Demon 182. Dan 172. Pip Matt 135. Those are the championship standings after this race, and Igo Champ up to 112. And Apex is making the biggest jump in the standings from 28 points now to 53. He jumps past Elite Game Boy, Alex Shield, Alex Musica, and Jamie James. So he moves up into 10th position in the standings, and Force India moves up into 3rd in the driver's standings. So very, very good result here for Force India, a 1-2. And they will look to build onto that, as we will be back next week for the Italian Grand Prix at the Cathedral of Speed in Monza. Another favorite track for most drivers. It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be very fast. The race is gonna be rather short, as it is a very quick track, and we get those 150 kilometers done in no time. We will be back Sunday, January 27th, 8 p.m. UK time. Hopefully then again with my co-host, Kieran McGinley, who was not here tonight. My name is Austin Smith. Thank you very much for watching. Have a good night, and goodbye.